first 10 or the first 20 or the first 30 or however you break your start and acceleration phase down, get rid of the philosophy of treating it as a certain amount of steps as a goal. The goal is not to get there in a certain amount of steps. The goal is to accomplish that phase as efficiently and with as little exertion as possible while maximizing your output, your power output, and your results. In projectile motion, if you wanted to throw something, throw a ball as far as you wanted to throw it, as for a launch angle, physics tells you to do it at 45 degrees. And Tom Tellez and a lot of other people have said, when you come out of the blocks, come out at 45 degrees. That's true for two reasons. One, because it's the optimum launch angle in physics. You're matching up your horizontal momentum with your vertical kind of displacement, so that's good. And then secondly, it allows you to have the space. 45 degrees is high enough for you to have the space to clear your leg and then piston it down to get your cycle started. Here's one of the other things that is done by a lot of even professionals, and I feel like it's robbing them of their ultimate goal, which is top speed. They are so entranced with winning the race to 10 that they feel like the first 10 meters must be a series of bounds. And it doesn't, okay? Your job is to run out of the blocks so that you can start to cycle. I think a lot of people overdo stride length because they feel like that is something that can be changed a lot more than stride frequency. But the reality is everyone has an optimal stride length. These are my legs. No matter how much wishing and praying I do, these legs, the length of these limbs are not changing. So this is my natural window. So when I want to do a cycle, when I cycle through my phases, I come up, and I come down. And this is where I'm at. If I try to do more, I have to compensate by breaking something else down. And those breakdowns is where speed starts to go away. Okay? So when we think about our first few steps, a lot of people will do some type of excessive and you call it block clearance or whatever you want to call it. It looks cute for Instagram, but in the world of physics, in the world of acceleration, it is not helping you in any foreseeable way. Now, if you do a ton of work in the weight room, you can mask how little that or how much that hurts you. But the reality is, if you want to have an efficient acceleration phase, you have to be honest about the body that God gave you, and you have to use those limbs in the ratios and in the length that is designed for your body. Because if you do that, if you learn how to trust that, it will give you an additional gear way over there. But if you decide to rob yourself of that, you're robbing Peter way down there to pay Paul over here. So you may look cute from 0 to 10 in your first 7 steps. You may even win the race to 10. But anyone who trusts their body is going to come get you at 60. And if you want proof of that, all you have to do is look at Christian Coleman versus Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles is not overstriding in any way from 0 to 10. But he's able to, because of his trust in his limbs, achieve gears that no other runner in the race will from let's say 50 to 80, because he has trusted his limbs and his pattern. Now, to the outside eye, it looks like he's a poor starter, but in fact, he's using the mechanics that allow him to accelerate and trust for a longer period of time. And guess who breaks down after 70? The people that overstride. So we have a little bit more space, okay? We have that spine that can move, and now we're gonna load backwards, and rather than launch ourselves forward, we just push hard enough to extend the front leg and then get that other foot down. And again, this is just for the sake of demonstration. Okay? Our contact points are strong. Okay? Our core is neutral and strong. As you can see, my spine's neutral. I'm heavy on my feet, heavy on my hands, and my body is holding me up, okay? Now, when I go to set, all I do is I move my spine through my hips. Boom, okay? And when I'm ready, I push. Last thing regarding the first 10. We've heard in years past that it's important to sweep the arms nice and wide. Now, if your goal is getting as much block clearance as possible in your first 7 steps, absolutely do that, because this will help you match the timing of the ridiculously long stride you're trying to achieve. But as we've discussed before, I believe that a more conservative stride in the beginning will serve you better when it comes to your maximum velocity. So if we are honest with ourselves, if we cross our leg and immediately think about coming down, which we should, because that's what we do at top speed, we cross, and then by the time we're ready, you'll be at your 90 degrees and you can come down. In order to do that effectively, you would never do this at top speed. It would be at the very least, or very most, 90-90. We close a little bit at the top, we open a little bit at the bottom. You get the idea. So when we come out of the hole, we're pushing, and we keep it close. We keep it close, and then when it's time to come down, we're ready to switch. And what you'll notice is that'll make your foot speed feel like boom, 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 okay? But learning how to control that and keeping your spine neutral and moving like the road runner underneath you, that is the athletic part of this, okay? So it is a philosophy adjustment. It's gonna take some time and a few reps. But once you find that place in space, we call it the sweet spot, where you can live at your neutral spine angle and cycle underneath, you'll find that your drive phase becomes more organic, it becomes more natural, and your gears will shift a lot more naturally without you having to force anything. And you can just kind of ease into your top speed, and you'll notice that it lasts a lot longer and it pushes out a lot further. So remember, the start is designed for your top speed, and it's designed to create a good acceleration phase. So take that information, and hopefully it helps you.